Okay, good morning to everyone. Today I will talk about what we are doing in Italy. In Italy we have an organization composed of two entities. One is the association Italian Mastro Society that we founded many years ago. And from some years, 6 years, 7 years, we have the company, Mastro Technologies, which try to create business from the research and activities we make in the association. So today I will talk. I will start from the SMOPS mission. SMOPS stands for Space Medicine Operations, a mission that we have made in 2022 at MDRS in Utah. It was particularly because we have organized this mission during COVID. We are located in Bergamo, North Italy, which was the town which was most affected by COVID. And so the organization took, while, by the way, a simple analog simulation mission at MDRS, it took a lot of time because all the calls made by video channels, not to talk directly with analog astronauts. A key point was obviously focused on space medicine, which is interesting for us for many reasons. And at that time, we produced the flight suit that you see in the right lower corner there. And this flight suit was produced by a company of our town, which at that time produced suites for hospitals, because hospitals had no suites and for COVID reasons, and they have specialized to do suites for hospitals. So we asked them, since you are working in this strange condition, let us to produce together a flight suit for simulation. The first one was the first model. This is the second model, which has been produced by a company called Punto Azzurro, which is located in a valley, which is Seriana Valley. Seriana Valley has hundreds and hundreds of years of activities in the textile sector. So the idea is to ask to this kind of companies to think how to produce stuff, textile, and so on for space industry, to reconvert at least partially their industrial capabilities. So this is the new model, and we are investigating also the application for medical application, because dual use of our research is a kind of mantra. Another activity that we follow for many years is the virtual simulation. We have this trademark, which is Mars Virtual System, by means of which we develop software, and we develop also treadmills. On the right side of the image, you see a Parkinson patient. This patient makes an exercise exploring Mars in virtual reality, and this is a test for him to improve his capability to touch objects, to move objects, to walk, and so on. The image on the left is the image of our major treadmill, which is multi-gravity. We are working to make it omnidirectional. That is, you can use in all directions when walking, to study gait in space exploration, to study movement for patients, for rehabilitation purposes. This one on the left side is the more little. This is the new model. We have a system to improve the gait with some balls at the bottoms, And also from the medical side, we are using it for rehabilitation of some children. We are in contact with some hospitals, and they are starting to use them to make rehabilitation of patients who have neuro disease. And obviously, this is used to explore space, to make all the activities of this type. There is another part of our area, which is born something like 3 years ago. And this area is a consulting program. That is, we try to include not space companies in the space sector, or to improve the presence of already companies which are already in the space sector to enter in the space sector, and obviously, if possible, to contribute to the research in space exploration. So the program, the consulting program, is called Space Readiness Level, and we go to the companies, to the newcomers, and it has different steps. So we make a preliminary analysis, an opportunity assessment. We identify a killer idea that could be useful for that specific companies or organization to enter the space market. We plan after a strategy and action plan, and we go to the implementation. The idea of this program is that we cannot go to all the European leader companies and give them the NASA specification book of 800 pages. To involve them in the space sector, we must start from what they do now. That is, if you are a mechanical company, if you are a medical company, if you are a automation company, we try to understand what you can do step by step to enter this market. Geopolitics is not my job, but anyway, we know that time is changing. US are not respected to Europeans like in the past. So we must, in my opinion, as Europeans, investigate on how we can involve our traditional industry in the space sector to become more and more autonomous in this sector. As we strategist says that we must be autonomous in military sector, we must be autonomous in the space sector as much as possible, and obviously for what we are concerned about Mars exploration. So this is the basic idea that stands back to this consulting program. This consulting program has a web platform, which is Discovery One, and we have also a system of AI agents, multi-agents, which calls the potential newcomer of the space industry and start to make them an analysis of what they could do in the space sector. This is more or less how it works, perhaps. No? The video doesn't start. It is a classical. Do you see? Let's see. Maybe you.
Yeah, there is a video or there is what?
It's a video.
Is it a video?
Yes.
Qu'est-ce qu'il écrit? Multimédia, il ne trouve pas le fichier média.
Le fichier multimédia.
No, so if we go.
You want to launch it separately from?
Yes, I have to launch separately.
Yeah, no,
No, not this one, fortunately.
But it's not displayed, right?
It is not
No,
displayed.
no. But first you look for it. Once you found it, we can display it. But
No, it is
so
not.
what is it?
Wait a moment.
It's not on your key.
No, not. No, it is not this one. It is not this one.
this one?
No, this is another one.
Normally,
However, I can give a look. Okay, perhaps it is not.
HAL 2001, Mars Planet Technologies AI systems. I'm reaching out to companies with innovative technologies that could contribute to Mars missions. Do you have a few minutes to chat?
Sure, I'm driving, but I'm listening. What's this about?
Great. I understand your company specializes in advanced composite materials. Can you tell me what makes your materials unique?
Well, we develop ultra-lightweight carbon fiber composites that are extremely resistant to temperature variations, from minus 150 to plus 200 degrees Celsius. They're mainly used in aerospace and racing cars right now.
That's fascinating. Mars surface temperatures range from minus 125 to plus 20 degrees Celsius. Have you ever considered applications in space exploration or extreme environments?
Honestly, not really. We've focused on Earth-based applications. But now that you mention it, the thermal resistance could definitely be relevant.
Absolutely. Mars habitats and rovers need materials that can withstand extreme thermal cycles and radiation. Your composites can be perfect for structural components. Would you be interested in exploring collaboration opportunities with space agencies or Mars mission contractors?
This is more or less how it works. There is the first contact by means of which an AI agent, which we have developed, it is not ChatGPT, it is a multi-agent where we have put together different information and we are creating a database updated time by time, and by means of which we can make a pre-analysis of what the entity or the company could in principle do to enter in the space market. This is one.
Après, c'était où? Which one?
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
No, but you have to full screen.
Oh, full screen.
Yes.
Okay. This is another project. We call it Epsilon device because one of our partner calls is Yassine, is a French guy, and so we have called him Epsilon device. But he's technically a random positioning machine, and we have produced this with very simple mechanical companies. That is, to produce it, we have made the design of it, and we are now using at Enea Research Center in Italy to study microgenes. Microgenes are little vegetables which can be useful in many things in the space exploration. So the objective is to use it for food analysis in micro G or reduced C, G, but also, if not especially, to make a study on biology, to make a study on space medicine. There are some limitations of this kind of devices in terms of their capability to simulate really micro G, but anyway, they have a lot of performances which are very, very interesting to make a study. By the way, the dimension of our RPM is big respect to normal dimension of these devices, and there are not many. It will be presented also in Italy in December. There is a big event in Rome called the New Space Economy, where we will show it in a booth with our partners. Another concept, which is the practical realization of the idea to involve traditional companies in the space sector, is the concept of Seriana Space Valley and CSAE. I have said that we have produced the second version of the suite with a company in the Seriana Valley. Seriana Valley has many industries, and we have promoted the creation of an institute, which is the Seriana Institute for Space Exploration and Innovation, which in Italian sounds CSAE, which means yes, I am. The concept is that we are now, we as promoter, some municipalities, and 6 companies of different sector, and for each company we are activating a plan to involve them in the space research. So this is perhaps a model that we could use also in other parts of Europe to create a microcluster which can be affordable for the companies and organizations, and could be some seed to make European space economy, and obviously open the future European Mars economy, affordable and possible. So the kind of organization is that CSAE is an entity which works with public institutions, works with research center, protect the intellectual property, and it creates in this manner a cluster. And the main activity, this is in Italian unfortunately, but however, the main pillars of the CSAE Institute are more or less 4. There is an event called Orizzonte Infinito, a festival of space science that we have already made 3 times, and there is a cave where we have started to make, in an old mine, where we have started to make some tests of simulation, of analog simulation, and the scope there is to create a kind of habitats, nothing that happens in deserts, big simulation mission, but something that can be useful to let people what we can do. And another point is the industrial relation, create a connection with the local industry, and also education. We go into school to make courses and so on. This time I have the video. This is a test we have made in the mine.
I don't know.
You don't know.
This one? What is it? No. Yeah, here, this one, perhaps. No.
No.
We have to change the screen. I don't know which one it is.
However, I will show later. However, this is a kind of test we are making. We have robot dogs, and we have also rovers. A last test has been made with a rover of Polytechnic of Milan. In Milan there is a big student aerospace association which is called the Polyspace with 300 students, and we have made with them this test. This is the inlet of the cave. However, the cave is quite big, and the idea is to promote even more simulation, also for space mining simulation. This is an event, Robot for Space. We plan to organize there in April next year. Last year I have spoken with Robert Zubrin of this idea at ISC in Milan, and we plan to do this in April, and also we have made both in the cave and both in the area next to the cave some tests with rovers. We have now a kind of moon terrain working for a Mars terrain also. The scope is that in Italy there is not a space robotic competition, and it seems to me that this is necessary, and so I have organized it with my people and our partners. There is one of the last point is our Mars City Academy. We have this academy online which deliver courses on space technologies, and not only, we have a space mining, space architecture, AI ethics. Soon we will have a biomanufacturing space, analog simulation, rare metals, and radiobiology in space. It is a tool not only to deliver courses, but also to attract the attention of people who don't know what is space science and what they can do. Last thing, I think, this is a web channel called Mars TV. We have made also an interview recently to Jean-Marc Salotti. We will do other interview like that, and this is a communication channel where there is this girl, which is Tara Bisharat, one of our associates, who makes the interview, and also for future activities of yours, you can contact us and ask if we could be interested to make an interview. The channel is improving, and without investing too much money, is seen all around the world, strangely. And so that's all, and I have completed my presentation.
We have time for one or two questions maximum before coffee. Yes.
You spoke of your Discovery One consulting services to help companies go to space activities. How do you define space-related activities? It could be anything. It could be plastics, it could be the environment, it could be electricity management, it could be so many different things. So
well, this is from a point of view a problem, and from another point of view an opportunity. That is, the concept is that space can be everything, as you say. So we must start from the principle that in principle we have a lot of possibilities, but practically we go always to a specific entity. We go to a company of automation, we go to a company of electronic, we go to a company. So when you go to a specific entity, the range of possibility reduces in principle. And so this will make more easier to understand what this company can do. The idea is always to start from bottom, not from the top. That is, the company can have some relationship with other companies, can have some, for example, in Italy, there are a lot of mechanic companies which work for Leonardo. Do you know Leonardo? And, but they work to make aerospace components according to some technical specification. I have never decided to work with Leonardo because it requires a lot of time and also bureaucracy. I don't like this. I want to, instead, you can go to this company and, for example, you can say, well, I have an idea to make a random position machining. You have all the capabilities to do this. I produce you the design and you do. So this company moves from making components from Leonardo to produce a micro G simulator, and this is much better than the past.